Hello and welcome back. And today we're going to go through the golden body language. So this is the type of body language you want to use when talking to women, okay? And to be honest, your body language is super important because we all know that body language accounts for around, I think it's around 70% of communication with people. So getting your body language right is would argue is probably the most important thing in the first 5 seconds. And remember, the first 5 seconds is crucial because it's kind of like a yes or no switch in a girl. Okay, so and again, even on things like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, body language plays um, a part online and of course offline too. So getting your body language right is super important. And I'm going to go through some simple ones that you should already know, and then I'm going to go through some other ones which are great to do when talking to a girl in a bar or in a club or anywhere outside, to be honest, because you always need to put across that you're more confident than her. Because if that's the case, it will show that you are relaxed and that will relax her, relax the whole conversation. And once you are both feeling relaxed, you're both more likely to open up, which is exactly what you want. Now, body language is an extremely powerful form of communication. And if it's used right, it can determine whether the girl is into continuing a conversation with you or not. Okay. And if you use it wrong, then you come across as weak and the girl will get turned off and therefore not even entertain you. Okay, so make sure that you have it right. Now, in order to have strong body language, you need to have a strong frame of mind. Okay, strong body language equals strong frame of mind. There we go. Strong frame of mind. Okay, so basically, within yourself, there has to be some level of self confidence. Okay, this is why people drink as well, because drinking makes people feel more relaxed. If you're in a more relaxed state, then you're less likely to care, which means you come across more relaxed, which means you're more confident. A lot of the time people let loose on all judgments and away from what people think when they drink. And what I want you guys to do is not need to drink in order to reach that state. Okay. So when you are about to approach or approaching, yes, you feel nervous. Okay. But the worst that's going to happen is she will say no or she'll walk away. And it's a good thing because it the gets it out of the way. It's better than for her to entertain you for 5, 10, 15 minutes and then for her to say no, right? You don't waste time. And to be fair, like girls forget about it 20 seconds later, and then another guy approaches them, and then they do exactly the same. So, yeah, she won't think anything bad of you. No one will think anything bad of you, and if they do, it's on them and it's not on you. Um, would you rather talk to someone who's super anxious or someone who looks relaxed? Would you trust someone who's anxious when they're talking to you, or if they're super relaxed? It's kind of like if you're walking down the street and someone approaches you asking for money, okay, we all make judgments, okay? So if someone approaches you asking for money and they're very jittery or they're talking very strangely or loudly or they're just acting in a way, or even if they're super nervous and they're just kind of shaking as they're talking to you, you're gonna be a bit like, okay, get away. Like, regardless of whatever you want, I'm not gonna entertain it. Whereas if a guy comes up to you, and I say he's dressed in a suit, or he looks very well put together, and he comes across like, "Excuse me, sorry to bother you. I've just lost my wallet, and I need, have you got like a little bit of money, anything? I'm just trying to get home." You're more likely to pay attention to him at least, whether you give money or not. It's fine, but you're more likely to pay attention to him. So, body language, good body language gets the door open even more. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to walk through it, but it definitely doesn't get the door closed. Whereas body language will just get the door closed automatically. First 5 seconds, you don't even have to say anything. But it works the other way too. If you have really good body language, you don't necessarily have to say anything or too much to get far with girls. This is why there's like a challenge which is like silent game basically, and you basically try to talk to a girl without actually saying anything. And there are some people who can do it because their body language is on point basically. So that's it. Now, the first thing that I want to talk to you about body language is, what do you think it could be? Eye contact. Eye contact. Okay, I'm going to quickly go over this one because we all know good eye contact, right? We all know that's super key. So you need to maintain eye contact throughout the whole interaction. Okay, so I'm talking about from the from right from the beginning. Okay, before you approach, before approach, during approach, after approach, basically in conversation. Okay, holding eye contact. Okay, now you can basically feel how much you need to hold, but generally it's around 70 to 80%. 20% no. Okay, and you can play around with that as well. She says something that you don't like, you can jokingly break eye contact and be like, oh, not this type of girl again, something like that. But eye contact brings around trustworthiness, so it makes you more trustworthy, genuine, okay, confident. These are all good signs of good eye contact, okay? It makes you sure of yourself. If you approach a girl head on and you catch her eyes as you are approaching, hold eye contact. So this is an example. You are approaching a girl face to face. You see her, she sees you. Hold eye contact. Start walking towards her and hold eye contact as you approach, okay? And as you talk. That's basically what you have to do. Simple, right? Well, it takes time to practice. She's probably likely to look away, but keep holding eye contact because she'll probably look back. And it's very sure that she does some kind of indicator of interest, okay? Like, so the indicator of interest is basically, she touches her hair. That's a big one. That's a typical one. Touches her hair. She fidgets, so she moves a little bit. She can't stand still, and well, she looks back at you. So imagine she looks away as you're approaching. She turns and looks at you again. So that these are some big indicator of interest that you need to look out for. Okay, these are super important. And yeah, girls are going to screen you as well. Okay, shit tests, things like that. Remember they get a lot of attention. They get approached by other guys, so you need to stand out. Okay, and you can fake a lot of things. Okay, there's a lot of things you can fake confidence. To be fair, you can fake confidence. You can fake the words you say. You can lie to her. You can lie, etc. etc. This is all easy, but it is difficult to fake eye contact. That is why that is important. Okay, it's much more difficult to fake that, which is why girls also hold eye contact with you because they want to say, okay, this guy is coming over. He seems confident. He's dressed well. I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna look at him dead in the eye. Let's see if he can hold it. Of course, she's not consciously thinking. This is all subconscious, automatic, evolutionary actions and brain chemistry. But this is what the underlying communication is. The area around the eyes is extremely hard to fake, which means that eye contact is hard to fake as well. So yes, like I said, eye contact is super important. Now, when you are approaching a girl, okay, you also need to factor in the balance of not giving your full undivided attention, okay? If you give your attention away so easily, it's not worth anything. She hasn't really done anything to deserve it. She's still a random girl. You're still a random guy. And also, it puts a bit of pressure on her as well. So remember, you've got to hold these eye contact. You've got to have confidence body language as well. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's completely focused on her. Okay. If she's standing or sitting in like an open space, okay, square up to her, go up to her face to face. Perfect. It's more confident. It's more free off outcome. You don't care. Assume she likes you. If she's walking, imagine she's just walking down the street. She's walking somewhere. Okay. When you approach, be next to her, and you can continue walking. I like doing that. Or you can be 1 or 2 steps in front of her. Okay. So if you approach and she is walking somewhere, be next to her as she walks, or be 1 or 2 steps ahead of her and talk to her over your shoulder slightly. Okay, it just eliminates creepiness. It eliminates any pressure on her or reduces pressure on her because she can see you, you're in front, etc. She can even just turn away from you, turn around, whatever. Do not, under any circumstance, do not walk walk steps behind her and talk to her. Talk to her. It's so creepy. It's like you're following her. So don't do that. Again, if she feels pressured, girls run away from pressure a lot of the time. So don't try to reduce that. Basically, that's what I'm trying to help you to do. Okay. Another type of body language you can use is, of course, hand gestures. You want to be using hand gestures. Again, that shows confidence. There's a thing of taking up space. You see, taking up a lot of space shows confidence. So let's put that. Take up space. In wherever you are. That could be dancing uh, with dancing using a lot of space with arms or stance, etc. It could mean hand gestures when you're talking. Um, it could be standing still with legs slightly further apart than your shoulders. Basically roots you to the spot like a tree, okay? And that gives up a little bit of space as well. So that's really good to do. Um, you know, things that you shouldn't do are things like hands in your pocket, because it's kind of like it technically comes across as you're taking up less space. Like you don't, it's like you don't own the space that you're in and you're borrowing it. So it's just weak behavior. So don't put your hands in the pocket. One thing that you could do, okay, if you really want a hand in your pocket, you could lean on the bar with one arm and put your other hand in your pocket. Okay, because that is a confidence stance. So that's, I would say that's probably the only time you should be putting your hands in your pocket. Okay. Now, talking about leaning against the bar or leaning against something, it's called the position of advantage. Okay, so you want to put yourself in a position of advantage. Yes, like I said, it includes leaning on a bar, leaning on a table, leaning on a wall, etc., etc. Basically, picture this: you're leaning against something, and the girl is talking in front of you. Girl talking in front of you. So you're leaning back, and she's in front of you talking. Now, when you look at that from an outside point of view, it looks like the girl is hitting on the guy. Okay, looks like girl is hitting on guy. Now this is super crucial because of passive attraction. Other girls will see it, other girls will take mental notes, and if you don't end up continuing talking to this girl, you potentially have some extra points with other girls too. So that's number one, that's a good thing. Number two, it makes you more relaxed because you're basically leaning against something, and when you lean, you feel relaxed. And also, again, now there's such a thing as healthy pressure, and I think it puts a bit of healthy pressure on the girl because you're the one leaning back and chilled. She can read that, and she's the one standing out in the open, in the chaotic place of wherever you are. So it's kind of, there's a bit of pressure on her to come up with conversation. So again, there's healthy silences that you can do within the conversation if you're talking to her, and then you kind of don't really know what to say next. Just hold for 10 seconds. Don't say anything for 10 seconds. Hold eye contact, and it puts pressure on her to say something. This works particularly well after you've built a little bit of connection, so minimum 5 minutes. Um, but yeah, this also helps with that as well. So there's a few reasons why the position of advantage works well, and you should definitely be doing that. Um, and yeah, basically what you need to do is use all this body language that I've talked about, okay? And you've got to go out there and test it. Just test it out. Okay, if you want, write these notes down, tick each one off as you tested it. Make sure you test it a few times each and see what works and what works well for you and what you find that you're comfortable with doing. Okay, because I mean, yes, some people don't want to talk with hand gestures. I get it, but maybe you could do little ones, not nothing too big. But what you want to do is you want to come across as confident. You want to come across as taking up space. You want to come across as the guy that knows what he's doing. Okay, so and these all help with that as well. Okay, so check out the notes, go through the video again, take notes, go out and make sure that you are practicing everything that I have talked about here. And yeah, good luck. And share this video too, because I think I've dropped a lot of facts here. All right, guys, peace.